struggle, purpose, and the relentless path to becoming more. There is a strange truth most people never want to admit. You almost have to hope that life does not hand you success too early. Because men, real men, are forged in struggle. Pressure shapes character. Resistance builds strength. Without hardship, ambition remains shallow, and without pain, growth is weak. This does not mean you should avoid success or delay your dreams. On the contrary, you should pursue wealth, mastery, and excellence with everything you have. But understand this, every lesson learned through suffering becomes exponentially more valuable when amplified by success. Struggle prepares you. It sharpens you. It strips away illusions. And when success finally arrives, it does not soften you, it completes you. Many people believe that wealth changes a man. In reality, wealth reveals who he already is. If you are disciplined, wealth magnifies discipline. If you are lazy, wealth magnifies decay. That is why the journey matters more than the destination. Every obstacle you overcome, every failure you endure, every lonely night spent working, while others sleep, these experiences accumulate into a version of yourself capable of carrying greatness. The goal is not simply to get rich. The goal is to become the kind of person who deserves it. And here is the truth few want to hear. Money is not as complicated as people pretend. The life you want is not unreachable. What makes it feel impossible is distraction, inconsistency, and emotional weakness. The secret has always been simple: fall in love with the work. When you stop romanticizing the result and start respecting the process, everything changes. One day you look back and realize it was never about talent or luck. It was about showing up every single day and doing what you said you would do properly without excuses. Consistency builds miracles quietly. Faith plays a role too. Gratitude changes how you move through the world. When you work hard, pray sincerely, and remain thankful even in difficulty, you develop something people call luck. But luck is simply preparation meeting opportunity. God does not reward words. He rewards effort, humility, and persistence. Time, however, is the enemy no one escapes. You are running out of it faster than you think. Every argument you entertain, every meaningless distraction you indulge, every hour you waste explaining yourself to people who do not matter, these are withdrawals from a limited account. You do not have time to argue over nothing. You do not have time to sit in emotional chaos. You have a fire inside you that demands direction, not comfort. Sit alone sometimes. Feel the discomfort. Let it remind you that you have not yet earned everything you want. Your name has not yet echoed beyond your lifetime. That responsibility is yours alone. No one can run your race for you. Others can point the way. They can show you the starting line. They can tell you what is possible. But when the race begins, you stand alone. And that is how it should be. Because meaning comes from effort. Purpose comes from sacrifice. There is dignity in living for something so deeply that it would be worth dying for. Do not listen to those who try to poison ambition with false humility. When people say, in the end, all graves are the same, they reveal their fear, not wisdom. It does matter how you live. It matters whether you leave something behind. You were not born simply to survive, suffer quietly, and disappear without impact. Look at nature. Even the male peacock displays his feathers not out of arrogance, but as a declaration of capability. Progress is driven by competence, not apology. But do not confuse shallow displays with real power. Flexing possessions is meaningless. Flexing capability, discipline, skill, resilience, that is what builds civilizations. True success does not announce itself. It works. Those who actually win do not take long breaks from effort. They do not celebrate prematurely. They do not escape
to comfort every time progress appears.
The truly wealthy are often work-obsessed not because they love money, but because they respect momentum. They understand that winning once does not mean you are done.
It means you are just getting started.
Many people suffer not because life is unfair, but because they refuse to take responsibility. In the end, you receive what you tolerate.
If your life feels mediocre, you must ask yourself an uncomfortable question: have you earned more?
Because effort compounds. Discipline compounds. Neglect compounds too. Everything you allow becomes permanent. Self-respect is built through habits. When you give your best consistently, confidence follows naturally. You do not need motivation, you need standards. Approach everything with intensity.
Become good at learning.
Become good at focusing.
Become good at trying.
Most adults live their entire lives without ever giving a full 100% to anything. And now, in the most competitive era humanity has ever known, mediocrity is a death sentence. Do not start what you're unwilling to finish properly. Half effort builds weak character. Showing up without intention is not noble.
If you're going to do something, do it right.
Otherwise, walk away. There is no reward for almost trying. Many people claim they are tired, but they are not resting, they are escaping. They wake up exhausted not because they work too hard, but because they do nothing that fulfills them. Burnout is rarely caused by effort. It is caused by misalignment. Chasing goals that are not yours. Living routines that numb your soul. Surrounding yourself with people who drain your energy instead of sharpening it.
You are not burned out from doing too much.
You're burned out from doing too little that matters. Movement without meaning leads to emptiness. Distraction silences intuition.
Comfort delays destiny.
And every time you postpone your growth, something inside you quietly withers. Not dramatically, not visibly, just enough that one day you wake up and feel hollow.
That is not exhaustion.
That is a loss of purpose. True self-care is not avoidance. It is confrontation. It is standing in front of the mirror and admitting where you have been passive, fearful, and complacent. Comfort is not healing. Clarity is. Without direction, the mind deteriorates. A man without a mission becomes his own worst enemy. You do not need to unplug. You need to reboot. You were never designed to coast. You are not created for mediocrity. You're a weapon, but the world has convinced you to live like a tool. There is no honor in staying loyal to habits, jobs, or relationships that destroy your spirit. If something makes you weaker, leave it behind. Loyalty to dysfunction is self-betrayal. Fix burnout by reclaiming command. Audit your life ruthlessly. Wake up earlier. Feed your mind strength instead of poison. Train until your body adapts. Read until your thinking sharpens. Turn pain into strategy. Pressure does not break leaders, it forges them. Peace is not the absence of work. Peace is the presence of purpose. A man with a reason does not beg for motivation. He does not need balance. He is driven from within. That fire is contagious. That presence is undeniable. And that is who you are meant to become, not broken, not tired, but awakened. Time is not slowing down. It is accelerating while you hesitate. Opportunity does not wait. Regret, however, is patient. It waits quietly until one day it grips you in the dark and asks, what if? The most dangerous emotion is not fear, it is regret. People waste their prime waiting to feel ready. Readiness is a myth. Urgency is real. The greatest pain is not failure, it is never stepping into the arena. Comfort is a cage that rots ambition from the inside. You were built for momentum, for challenge, for growth. Success is not extraordinary action. It is ordinary action performed exceptionally well.
And it begins with philosophy, what you know and how you think.
Ignorance is not bliss. What you do not know will hurt you. Life rewards those who weigh decisions carefully and invest time, energy, and money into what truly matters.
Errors compound just as wisdom does.
Philosophy shapes attitude.
Attitude shapes action. Action shapes results. Do your best. Always.
Enough is not a number. Enough is effort.
When you give full effort, confidence follows naturally.
That is the foundation of self-respect. Life is accumulative.
Correct errors early.
Learn continuously. Read relentlessly.
Act decisively.
Because in the end, success is not about what you achieve, it is about who you become in the process.
And you were meant to become more.